This week, as President Trump was under immense pressure from his own supporters to release the Epstein files, he chose instead to release 60-year-old documents detailing the FBI's surveillance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. against the wishes of Dr. King's own family members. It is outrageous, but unfortunately not surprising, that this president, who claims to have been victim of countless political witch hunts, would callously release to the public a dossier of questionable information gathered about the late civil rights leader, gathered by J. Edgar Hoover's FBI, that had been thoroughly weaponized against Dr. King. Throughout his life, Dr. King was the target of relentless government spying and character assassination. And this latest effort to sully his reputation is little more than a cheap political stunt carried out by a president trying to save his skin from a series of scandals entirely of his own making. And it hasn't escaped my notice that when this president is in the most trouble with his base, he falls back on attacking black political figures, trying to drag them down to his level. A day after releasing the Martin Luther King Jr. files, Trump was accusing former President Barack Obama of treason. Americans are too smart to fall for the bait and switch. More than 10 years after Trump first came down the golden escalator, we understand now that every accusation is an admission and every smear is really a cover-up. What's most tragic about this latest scheme is Trump thought he could drag a man as great as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. down to his level.
See, I get why people voted for him. Because even before he came on the scene, America had the most corrupt political system in the Western world. It's been running on corporate money, secret money, billionaire money, both sides. And it's worse than ever now. Citizens United was the worst court decision in modern American history. And when members of Congress aren't begging for money from lobbyists, they're trying to dodge getting carpet bombed by these super PACs. Senators get threatened every day with millions and millions of dollars of attack ads over the votes that we take. And see, this is why nothing works for ordinary people. It's not because of woke college kids or trans students or because there are interracial couples in cereal commercials. It's because the people's elected representatives don't represent the people, they represent the donors. And that corruption is why they just defunded nursing homes to cut taxes for the rich. Corruption is why you pay a fortune for prescriptions. Corruption is why your insurance claim keeps getting denied. Corruption is why hedge funds get to buy up all the houses in your neighborhood, driving you out of the market, and then your corporate landlord ignores your calls during a gas leak. Corruption is why that ambulance costs $3,000 after you just had to get your choking toddler to the hospital. So Trump promised to attack a broken system. I get it. Ripe target. But here's the thing, he's a crook and a con man, and he wants to be a king. Yes, the system really is rigged, but Trump's not unrigging it, he's re-rigging it for himself.
Hey guys, this is U.S. Senator Jon Ossoff in Georgia. And before you skip this ad, just hear me out, because I'm the only Democratic senator up for re-election in a state that Donald Trump won. And MAGA is already spending millions of dollars to defeat me. I am the #1 target in the country for the Republican Party. So if you are upset with what's happening to our country right now and you're ready to fight back, please chip in what you can to support my campaign here in Georgia. Thank you so much for your support.
Every single Republican at every level of government in the state of New York must be challenged, point blank, period. And they should not be challenged with old ideas, Plattsburgh. They need to be challenged fighting for health care as a human right for every American. Every single one. Don't give anyone an easy walk this year or next. I want Republicans running for dog catcher to be challenged next year. Every single one of them better be tied up and let them know that we will not forget what they did. There are consequences to fighting and taking away people's health care. There are consequences to voting against a living wage. There are consequences to ripping up law-abiding, dutiful, undocumented people from their country. There are consequences. There are consequences for fighting against LGBT rights. There are consequences for taking away our right to choose. And they need to know it, not just from New York City, but from Plattsburgh and Hudson County and Utica and Buffalo and Rochester and in rural areas, suburban areas, and urban areas too. That is our task.
I saw Mike Johnson on the television saying we got to stop all these able-bodied men from being on Medicaid.
We have to eliminate people on, for example, on Medicaid who are not actually eligible to be there.
Only 2% of people on Medicaid are able-bodied and looking for a job. Only 2%.
Able-bodied workers, for example, young men who should never be on the program at all.
First of all, like it's a crime for someone to have health care in America. Health care is a human right in America, and everyone should have it. Everyone should see a doctor. We must end the indignity of not being able to afford medicine, a doctor's appointment, being able to take care of one another. You know who from Idaho voted to gut Medicaid for everybody, by the way? Both of your senators, Jim Risch and Mike Crapo. And your House members, Russ Fulcher and Mike Simpson. You deserve better, Idaho. They know that that's not what you want. They know it is deeply unpopular. They know that it hurts the working families of Idaho, but they are not here to serve working families. They are here to serve themselves and the billionaires who pay them. And they know that the only chance they have to get away with such an unpopular and hurtful agenda is to stoke deep divisions along race, identity, and culture to keep us fighting and distracted. It's not gonna work anymore.
Time to speak up. I've been trying to share more positivity with you guys lately, but I have to tell you something that is very heavy, very ugly, but too important not to share. Because I believe in shining light into the dark places. The darkness thrives when we pretend not to see it. So let's look. According to an investigative report from the Houston Chronicle, officers working under Greg Abbott's Operation Lone Star at the border have been instructed to push children, infants and toddlers and families back into the Rio Grande and to withhold water from migrants, even in extreme heat. Children pushed into the river. Water denied to the thirsty. In Texas, in our name. A state medic spoke out after watching a 4-year-old collapse from heat exhaustion and a pregnant woman suffer a miscarriage caught in razor wire. He was told not to offer water, not to intervene, and he could stay silent no longer. Neither can I. This is not a policy disagreement. This is not border security. This is cruelty. And if we do not speak, if we do not see, or if we pretend it isn't happening, then we are allowing this to grind on, fed by our silence. But I believe in another way, because I believe that love is not soft. Love defends, love exposes, and love protects. So I'm shining this light today not to spread despair, but to declare we will not normalize this. We will not look away, and we will not stop until every child is safe. And to each of you listening, share this story. Share it so that you shine light onto what is happening. Make your own video or share someone else's, but don't let the world stay blind to what is happening. And as a Texan, to my neighbors on the South, I want to say I'm so sorry. My heart breaks with yours and for yours. But I say this, I will not stay silent. I will keep speaking out as long as I have breath in my lungs. You are not forgotten. Go love your neighbor.
It's time for the trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. Hello. Testing, test, 1, 2, 3. Can y'all hear me? Let's see here. Let's see if I can get an audio. Let's see. There it is. Yes. All right. Oh, shoot. I forgot to put my watch on. Hang on a second. I got to have my watch on. I was scrambling to get stuff on. All right. Put my watch on. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is 11:28 a.m. Pacific Time Zone. Here in beautiful Las Vegas, we're sitting at a temperature of about 90. What is it? Oh, we're already at 100. Lovely. We're already at the century mark. I guess we're supposed to get a high of 108. So things are warming up. But the good news is, as I think that's about as hot as we're going to get, or maybe 110, maybe, I don't know. And then it's supposed to start cooling back down again a little bit. So, like I've said, if we get through the summer and our highest day is 110 or 12, I'll be ecstatic. Since the last 2 summers, we hit 120 a couple of times, and that might just sound like, oh, it was only twice. But what that means is we had a lot of days that were 115, 116, 117, 118, which you might as well just say is 120 at that point. It does make a difference. At least I think it does. As far as getting through a hot summer. Anyhow, good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. Looks like we got a few people watching. 22 watching, 24 thumbs ups. So thanks for the thumbs ups. Looks like Sandy Foltz again, first in the chat, as per usual, at least most of the time, as Sandy says. Damon Dog is in there. Damon Dog, first in the lounge. We got a dispute here. David Dog putting down chairs, making donuts, fresh coffee. See y'all at 2 Eastern. Roxanne Epstein is here. Hey, Roxanne, good to see you. Thanks for joining us in the old Drivers Lounge. Michael Manders. Hey, Michael's good to see Michael's here. Thanks for coming on in. Hanging out. Sammy Carter. Hey, Sammy, Mr. Spock. Live long and thou wast prosperous. Something like that. Aaron West is here. Hey, Aaron, thanks for being here. I always appreciate you. And helping out and looking after things. AM says, I told Hal Sparks he should have started a pop-up popcorn business. Alrighty then. I think they have those in the mall, don't they? All right. Sammy Carter says, was fantastic protesting in Aberdeen and Edinburgh. Flew back to London this morning. Awesome, Sammy Carter. Were you one of the ones holding the sign up that says Trump is still a cunt? That was like my favorite. It was my favorite. Mike H is here. Says she's hot. I'm sure whoever she is appreciates the compliment. Chris Doug chiming in says, heard any interesting political news lately? Wink, wink, nod, nod. Maybe we'll touch on some of those subjects. William's here. Hello, William. Good to see you. Michael McAndrew, she is awesome. I think maybe we're talking about AOC. She is awesome. And I love her very much. And I want to make her my honorary daughter, which would be very nice to have my real daughter and AOC as my daughters. I would have two of the greatest daughters in the world. I don't know if that didn't sound right. Anyhow, but I think as I was putting those clips together, we had John Ossoff, who was awesome, and AOC, who was awesome. I've been playing a lot of Gavin Newsom's lately, and I'm thinking these are our presidential candidates, and we're going to throw Pete Buttigieg in there too, I'm sure, and I guess Hal Sparks. He says he's running, but just think of that: Gavin Newsom, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, John Ossoff, Awesome Ossoff. That's got to be his thing, right? Awesome Ossoff. They've got to go with that. And I'm sure that there's going to be another 4 or 5 more. And just think of the deep bench we have. Is that the terminology? I mean, we have a great bench, I guess, of people. And who are the Republicans going to put up in 2028? It's just going to be a bunch of shitbags. It's not even close, and yet it's close in terms of who's going to win. It's always close, it seems like, and which is amazing. When you see the stark differences, just night and day differences of the quality of candidates that we're going to have and that we have in the past, compared to the shitbags that they continually put up. It's amazing that they even have anyone in office. But propaganda goes a long way, man. Propaganda works, CR's here. Hey, good to see you. Evil Evie. Hello, Evil Evie. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on in here in the old Driver's Lounge. Sammy Carter, eloquent, intelligent, and emphatic. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, you were talking about AOC. Oh, yes. So yeah, Kimchi is here. The goddess is here. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us in the old driver's lounge. Tim Farrell, the Farrell one's here. Hey, Tim, good to see you. Nick Rich. Good old 56 Nick Rich here, like number 17. Good day. Thanks for hitting that thumbs up, Nick. I do appreciate it. 36 watching, only 27 thumbs up. So we are currently operating at a deficit. We need to fix that, folks. As good Democrats, we don't like to operate in deficits if we can help it. So let's get to at least a balanced budget. Let's balance that budget. Andrea Shilkoff is here. Hello, Andrea. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping on in. Afternoon to you. It's still morning where I'm at, but afternoon to wherever you're at. Chris Doug says that Greg Abbott would not last very long as someone pushed him into the Rio Grande. Yeah. I think Greg Abbott uses his wheelchair as a shield or something, or a mask or something, so that he'll get sympathy. And I'm not saying he got. I don't even know why. I don't know if he was born with this element or if he had an accident. I don't know why he's like paraplegic or whatever. But I'm not saying he did that to the purpose. But it's he. I think he uses that being in the wheelchair to his advantage to gain, sympathy and like, oh, look at this guy. But don't let that fool you. That's one evil motherfucker in that wheelchair. One of the most evil motherfuckers I've ever seen, who's in a position of power like that. Greg Abbott, just a despicable human being. Despicable. Despicable! I tell you. Michael McAndrews, Trucker John, never heard of him. Hugs. TJ says Kimchi. Thank you, Kimchi. Thanks for the hugs. Nick Rich says 11:28, so I'm about 9 minutes behind, I think. Mike H. White Chris Doug, is it because he's in a wheelchair? No. And what? Let's see, Chris Doug. I just read the thing. Well, if he were it would probably be because he was out of his wheelchair. But just Mike H. Just look at how Greg Abbott says his policies, the things he's said, going back to Uvalde. I mean, just how he botched up the handling of that, started yelling at people for questioning what was going on, and I mean, he's a horrible person. He's just a horrible, horrible person. Stephen Sayers is here, says hello. GOP equal guardians of pedophiles. I believe that. That's what they are. Chris Doug says, did a 4-mile hike this morning, and now it's 94 degrees outside. No thanks. AC for the rest of the day. Yeah, get your hiking done early, and then spend the rest of the day and park in front of that AC. It's a good strategy. Mr. Spock says, was trimming the jungle earlier. Nick Rich gonna do a video garden. Chris Doug, 2:29 East Coast. I'm about 10 minutes behind you, apparently. Aaron West, 72 degrees in the mountains. Nice. Kimchi, 90 in Virginia. This is usual. AM is asking me a question here. AM says, TJ, how are things at the apartment? Have you met your neighbors yet? Things are nice. I pretty much just stick to myself. I did meet my neighbors right next to me. I didn't get their names. I just talked to when I was moving in or something, or I think it was after I moved in. Oh, whatever. I don't know. I saw it was it's a couple that lives over here. I just said hi, and I said I'm your new neighbor. I guess I didn't, we didn't exchange names, so I don't know their names. I've seen a couple other people walking around, but I don't really. I pretty much just stay in my apartment when I'm here, and then when I just go out, and I usually have to get an Uber to go to work or wherever. So I just, I haven't really. There's nothing really here in terms of like, how some apartments have like a common room or a community room or whatever, where people can hang out. But there's nothing like that here. So. But I did say hi to my next door neighbors right here. At least I did that much. David Doug's back. Busy. Sandy Folt says, hi, TJ. How are you? I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. Sandy, how are you doing today? You going to do some more swimming? Sandy's always doing something, going swimming or going to some concert, in the park type of thing. A lot of community activities that Sandy goes to. John Glad here, signing in. Hey, John Glad. Glad to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Sandy Folt says it's 92 in Niagara Falls on this warm summer day. Let's see here. I'm just skipping on down. Mr. Bob Newell, I can't hear you. Hey, Mr. Bob Newell, thanks for dropping in. Good to see you. You and your dry humor, I guess, is what we would call that. Michael McAndrew says heat wave here in TC, Michigan, 84 degrees. 84. That sounds lovely. There's Jolie. Hello, Jolie. Hi, everyone. She says, hi, everyone driving and listening home in 25 minutes. All right, so we got both the mods in there. Full mod capacity. AM says the popcorn reference was to accompany the BS the White House is dishing out lately. Nick Rich, Mr. Bob Newell, we hear you. Chris Doug, the G is soft in Edinburgh. I guess we're supposed to say Edinburgh. Edinburgh. Good old Edinburgh. It's kind of like the S being silent in Illinois. Mr. Bob Newell, why does Trump only hire blondes? Because he's a misogynist. There's nothing wrong with blondes, but I guess if you have a thing for blondes and all you do is hire blondes, that doesn't. I would say you're probably a misogynist because you're only hiring them based on their appearance and not on their abilities or whatever, on their actual skill to do whatever job it is. It's just give me that hot blonde. Roxanne Epstein, what I missed? Nothing. That's me reading the chat and saying hi to everybody. So you haven't really missed much. Dan B's here. Hey, Dan B from, I guess Florida. Dan B got the Miami Dolphin logo there. Thanks, Dan B, for being in here. Good to see you. I'm a little low-key today, to tell the truth. I was watching Hal, and it was around 10:30 or 10:36, and I was laying in bed watching Hal Sparks, and I drifted off to sleep, and I woke up, and Hal was still on. It was like 11:07 or something like that. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta get up. And that's why I was a little late getting everything going. Mr. Bob Newell has a real fixation about the strip club, apparently, because every time he comes on and asks about the strip club, Mr. Bob Newell says that the strip clubs smell like cologne or perfume. I don't really remember any odors. It was just nice. It was just nice. There was nothing, one way or the other about it. Hey, Josh. Good to see Josh. Josh, hey, ladies, Josh is here. Probably happy to see Josh, huh? Mr. Bob Newell, Trucker John for Department of Transportation. I'll take it. Mr. Bob Newell, are you okay with the new place? Yeah, I kind of answered that already. I am okay. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. Let's just put it that way. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's a studio. I don't think I've lived in a studio. Have I ever had a studio apartment? Even when I was uh like in college or whatever, I did have a place. You know what? I did have a place that would be considered a studio, I guess. One time back in the '80s. And that did have the Murphy bed in it, though. That was really cool. It had a built-in Murphy bed, like Nick Rich was talking about Murphy beds. So it was really cool. I mean, it had it was like a built-in unit. It wasn't like something you just buy and it's like flimsy or whatever. It had this big built-in wall unit Murphy bed, so it was really cool. So you just you know how Murphy beds work, and so when you're not using it during the day, you just fold it up. You got your whole nice living room. Because it had a pretty big living room. It was a studio, but it was probably I don't know if it was twice as big as this, but it was bigger than this place. I would say it was bigger. Had a bigger kitchen for sure. You had like a full kitchen. Like this is more like a kitchenette, I think. Even though I do have a fridge and a stove and a sink, but there's really the counter space is very limited. But anyhow, so this might be the second studio I've ever lived in that I can think of. But yeah, I'm just grateful I've got this place and that I'm not living in the gully in a van down by the gully. Actually, a van by the gully might be all right. Sunny Phillips, TJ, have you met any of your neighbors? Oh, so are you guys just asking the same questions over and over again? Like I said, I just met briefly the neighbors next door. I'm not real sociable in that way, I guess. I don't know. I mean, not that no one's out lingering really. I mean, sometimes a guy across that little, where all the shrubbery is. I mean, I saw them sitting out, in the evening, and they put some chairs out in front of their door, and they just were sitting out there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What am I supposed to do? Knock on the door? Hey, everybody! I'm Trucker John. I moved in. I should do that. I probably should knock on the doors and give them like cards, like business cards, with the Trucker John YouTube address, and go, hey, maybe I can get some. Maybe I'll get to 4,000 subscribers that way. And eat that dandelion. I really thought we were making good strides towards that, and now we're not. So. Roxanne Epstein says, Damon Dog, hello, brother. Good to see you. I saw your pics on YouTube post. Very tidy little setup you have. They look happy. Very cool. I haven't seen that. Damon Dog, I think I have your... I think I subscribe to your channel. I better double check that because I want to check it out, man. Chris Doug says the ultra-rich and crooked corporations are scared of a blue wave. That is why the Republicans are fundraising millions now. The Dens. As long as we can vote, as long as there are elections, there will be a huge blue wave, I believe. Damon Dog says, Boone is so beautiful. I love Grandfather Mountain too. Mr. Abdul, you ever drive a jet ski? I have. Way back, going way back to the 80s. I feel like I'm trying to yawn because I feel like my ears are plugged up or something. I don't know. For some reason. Steven Sayers, yes to the jet ski. I never was really super good at it. My friend, he bought some jet skis. A friend of mine in high school, just after high school, and we used to go out to the lake. He bought two because he was married. He got married. He was one of the folks that got married real early, uh, right after high school. So him and Sandy was his wife at the time. I think unfortunately they got divorced instead. But they were a great couple, great friends that I had in high school. And then right after high school, they got these two jet skis, and we used to always go out to the lake, Lake Silverwood. Silverwood. And so I would ride around on his jet ski, one of his jet skis. That was about the extent of it. But quite a few times we went out to the lake. It was fun. I used to just wreck a lot. I wasn't very good at it. Nick Rich, $2 super stickers. Thank you so much, Nick Rich. Yippee, going out to you. And you also get a thumbs up, and you get the heart before Wes drops in $1.11. You beat him to it. I haven't seen Wes in yet here. Maybe he's sleeping one off, if you know what I mean. Joel, he uses it as a crutch, laughing out. Yeah. Abbott uses his wheelchair as a crutch. But Mr. Bob Newell, what do Trump, Bill Clinton, and David Copperfield have in common? And I agree with Hal. If Clinton's on the list and it's found out that he was out there boinking, underage girls, then fuck him too. We don't care. We want it all out. We want it all out. Mr. Bob Newell, Abbott got fired on by Trump. I think I recall something about that. I think Trump is maybe at this point it's a badge of honor for these fuckers to get fired on by Trump. Kimchi with the membership. What do you call it? What do you call those when you do your membership? Anyhow, thanks Kimchi. Member for 16 glorious months. Yippee, going out to Kimchi. You know the drill. Thumbs up, everybody. Except Kimchi. Yeah, awesome. Thanks. 16 months. One of my very early original batch of members there's and been with me ever since. So thank you so much, Kimchi. I appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. I do appreciate you, every single one. Mr. Bob Newell, the temperature in Florida is booty sweat. Yeah. And then there's Kimchi with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Yippee. See, I said I would yell yippee. But I also give you a thumbs up on it and a heart. So it's a threefer. Thank you, Kimchi, for the $5 super chat. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Help us keep the show going here. Maybe someday I'll actually buy some good equipment. I'm gonna have a real show. Mr. Bob Newell, knock. Guess who? Aren't you supposed to say who's there or something? Or am I supposed to say who's there? Oh, I say who's there. Who's there? Roxanne MC says, Damon Dog, I can imagine they had all their vitamins and stuff. They look great. Oh, yeah, I guess fascinating. Looks like you've learned ways. Damon Dog, I guess, is growing something. There's something. Stephen Sayers with a 10-month membership. Thank you so much, Stephen. Yippee goes out to Stephen Sayers. Says, sure, glad I found Drugger John's stream. Thank you, Stephen. I'm glad you found us, too, and I'm glad you're here. And thanks for being a member and helping to support the show. And thanks for just coming in and hanging out in the lounge and contributing and, in all the ways that you do. I do appreciate you. Mr. Bob Newell, you've been inside the sphere. I have not. But I'm going to make sure I'm going to save up my shekels. Is it shekels or whatever? And I'm gonna. They're gonna do a. We talked about this before, but they're gonna do the Wizard of Oz, where it's all completely. Basically, they used AI to fill in, because like the screen, like the movie only would cover a certain part of the screen, but in the sphere it goes all, it's above you and all around you and almost behind you, and I guess they use AI to fill in all that. And plus, this is like an immersive thing, so like when the tornado's going off, I guess they blow wind and debris in your face and stuff like that. And so anyhow, I just want to go to it, and I think going to see the Wizard of Oz would be really cool. So and that I think it doesn't premiere or whatever until I think it's August 28th or something like that. So I got time to save up my shekels. Maybe if I get some strip club kickback money, just one kickback might pay for it. I haven't checked the ticket prices. I imagine it's going to be well over $100. And some people say $100 to see the Wizard of Oz, but yeah, this is a special. This is the Sphere. And I have not gotten one bad review or remark or anything from. I pick up people last night. I picked up people from the Sphere. They saw the Backstreet Boys, the fucking Backstreet Boys, and people are saying how great it was, and not just They love the Backstreet Boys, but they love the experience. They love the Sphere. I've picked up people from every concert there, from U2 and Dead and Company and Fish and Kenny Chesney, and now the Backstreet Boys, and whoever else has been, and from the Postcards from Earth movie, and from the U2 movie. It doesn't matter. Everyone just raves about what a great experience it is to see a movie or a concert there at the Sphere. So I think I'm going to try to go to the Wizard of Oz. Even though, and like I said, I haven't checked prices, but it'll probably be like 100 or 150 or whatever, or I don't know if they're. So the only thing they have they give a locals discount for the Postcard from Earth movie. That's the only thing, and so it brings it down to, because I kind of checked it. I think I can get them for like $80 or $90 with the discount for that movie. But I don't know if they're going to have a locals discount for the Wizard of Oz or not. But I'll check into it. I will definitely check into it. But I want to go there at least once. And that'll be for that. Josh says, I got to go pick up my van and drop off my Toyota. Exhausted Liberals here. Hey, Exhausted Liberal, good to see you. Thanks for jumping on into the old driver's lounge. Exhausted Liberal says, where the fuck is Kamala? Our party has no leader, and we are worried about dumb shit. She needs to step up for the Democratic Party. I think we're seeing the leaders come up. I think we're seeing Gavin Newsom, John Ossoff, AOC. They're the leaders now. Kamala's out. I mean, and I'm not saying she's just done politically, but if she wants to be, she might be drained. I don't know. Who knows? She doesn't have to do anything. I think she did enough. And the American people rejected her. So how would how would you feel? She might run for governor, who knows, of California, but I don't know. I think that we have a lot of leaders, a lot of voices. Jasmine Crockett comes up. I'm seeing a lot of great Democratic voices. Jamie Raskin, Hakeem Jeffries. But I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't mean to dismiss what you said, but I don't think that Kamala Harris being kind of out of the picture is really that consequential right now. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm not, just my opinion. Your opinion, my opinion. We all got opinions. know what they say about opinions? But thanks for your comment, Exhausted Liberal. I appreciate you coming in and giving your. That's what it's about. It's just a lounge, and we're allowed to come in and have our opinions, and as long as they're civil, and that was civil. I mean, Chris Doug, member for 7 months. Hey, Chris Doug, yippee, Chris Doug. Thank you so much for being a member for 7 whole months. Can you believe it's almost August? I know our year is half over already. I was just talking with a passenger last night about that. We were talking about how time flies so much, so fastly, and here we are already through July. It's crazy. Kimchi sent 10 gift members. Yippee! Another yippee. You get yippies not just for super chats, but you get yippies for being a member, and you get yippies for gifting memberships. So thank you so much, Kimchi. I appreciate you. 10 folks got the memberships, and I'm gonna read them off. Jen up the base. Where is Jen? Jen always kind of comes in late. Fancy got one. I have not seen Fancy. I think I pissed Fancy off because we had a little back and forth about my bed. Gen X George. Oh, I haven't seen Gen X George in a long time. Determined. I don't know if I've ever seen that for Silly Willy. Chris Welch. Billy Williamson. Come on, Billy. Come on in and say hello. Diane Russell. Got one. I believe this is the singer Diane Russell. Yeah, because I got the guitar. So because there's 2 Diane Russells, but I think this is our friend Diane Russell from 21st Century Suffragette. So it'd be nice if Diane came in and said hi. That'd be great. BRNR got one, and Marsha H. That's 10. Thank you so much, Kimchi. Yippee, going out to you, and congratulations to all the lucky recipients. Hopefully, you guys will come in and say hi and give me a thumbs up. That would be wonderful. Yeah, thanks. That's great. Josh says, I'm going to hang out for a bit before I roast myself in the car. Crank up that AC if you got it. Crank it if you got it. Kimchi, he won't take my money, so he gets memberships instead. Deal with it. Oh, did somebody say something? Or bad? I'm grateful for it. Thank you very much, Kimchi. I'm grateful for those memberships. Those are awesome. Roxanne Arfield, hello, my dear. You were deeply missed at the 21st Zoom call the other night. Good to see you as always. So, are we at full Roxanne capacity? We got the Armfield and the Epstein in here. It looks like probably, kind of, sorta. Mr. Spock, a member for 9 whole months. Thank you, Mr. Spock. Live long and prosper. Yippee! Going out to Mr. Spock. Can I just say this is the 3rd time I've used this? You can say that. That's perfectly allowable. Exotic Liberal says, Kamala literally wanted our votes to win, but when she lost, she said, fuck the people. I don't know. I mean, again, this is your opinion. Exotic Liberal is livid. I mean, I guess I can see your point, but I didn't get livid over it. I guess I kind of felt empathy for Kamala Harris, who she ran a fucking, talking about being exhausted liberal. She ran an exhaustive campaign. I mean, I never saw anyone campaign so furiously as Kamala Harris, because she was basically trying to cram, nearly a year's worth of campaigning or something into a few months. I don't know what kind of toll that took on her emotionally and physically. I don't know. So I guess I just felt like I've just felt kind of empathetic towards her, and I think it's kind of a hell of a thing to to put yourself out there like that and then get beat to it by a shitbag like Trump, even though a lot of people question a lot of the votes and the voting, and you know, and as far as the popular vote, it was only a separation of just 1.4%. So I mean, I don't think she has anything to be ashamed of. I think she ran a great campaign, but it's kind of a kick in the balls, to lose to this fucking shitbag. I don't know, exhausted liberal. I understand, I mean, your point, but I didn't really look at it that way, of her just abandoning us. Maybe she felt abandoned. I don't know. I guess, and who knows, maybe this is a Democratic strategy, or they don't, maybe the DNC or whatever, they don't want her out there. I don't know. It is interesting though. You do bring up a good point about how she's been pretty silent. Um, Mad Max, Slava Ukraine. Hey, what am I doing? I'm doing this one. No, I'm doing this one. This one, yeah. Slava Ukraine. Absolutely, Slava Ukraine. 1 million dead or severely, I guess, wounded to the point that they can't use them anymore. Soldiers by Russian soldiers in 3 years. Can you imagine? Like Hal was bringing up the other day, we had the Vietnam War for about 10 years, and we lost over 50,000 soldiers, which is horrible. And it was, it was a horrible thing. But that was 50,000 stretched out over 10 years. Can you imagine if we lost 1 million soldiers in 3 years in a war? Could you imagine the outcry, or, it's hard to imagine. So I can't imagine that the Russian people, and I know they Putin controls the media and stuff, but still, there's 1 million families that either their loved one is dead, or they haven't heard from, or has come back in such bad shape that they're not able to go back on the front lines again. There's 1 million families that let's see that. Now, my chat just disappeared. I don't. There was a membership thing, and I missed it. Just the one just before Damon Dog. I didn't see it. It just disappeared. I can't scroll back. It won't let me scroll back to it. So whoever that was, yippee to you. And before Damon Dog disappears, Damon Dog, member for 8 months, yippee to Damon Dog. What this chat, what it does, it scrolls, and then I can't go back. Once it scrolls up, it disappears. So I missed one of the membership anniversary, whatever they call it. So the one right before Damon. If you want to put your name in the chat here and let me know who I missed, I can give you a proper yippee. In about 10 minutes, I'll probably come to it. So, Josh, I always pronounce it Edinburgh. Oh, Edinburgh. Or Edinburgh. I think, is there an Edinburgh? Is that the same thing? I'm so uncultured. Oh, was it Sandy Foltz that had the membership thing or something? I don't know. I missed it. Sandy, if it was you, I apologize. I missed it. I can't scroll back to see who that one was. For some odd reason, it's kind of a glitch or something, I think, in the programming here. Search for you, member for 4 months. Search for you, yippee to search for you. Thank you so much. Just hi TJ. You sound a little stuffy. Stay hydrated. Yeah, well, I'm trying to. I got my water. I already had some orange juice, and I'm drinking some coffee. Not only am I going to be hydrated, I'm going to be making a run to the bathroom here. Yeah, I do have a little stuffiness going on. Or did Sandy gift a membership? Maybe that I missed it, Sandy. I didn't see it, so I apologize. But thank you, Sandy. Yippee to Sandy for if there was a gifted membership. I wasn't able to see it before it disappeared on my screen here. Sandy Foltz says today is barbecue at the Salvation Army down the street. That sounds awesome. Now, what I have noticed is right behind this property is a park, and they also have a senior center. And now I'm a senior, and I can't just dismiss that stuff. I'm a senior citizen, so maybe that's something I could check out. Maybe they'll have some barbecues or something that I could go to. You know what I mean? Search for you, listening while I work. Have fun, chatters. Well, thanks for popping in. Search for you. And thank you for listening while you work. Hey, look at that. We got 40 watching, 45 thumbs up. So that means we're at a surplus. Like the good Democrats that we are. We operate at a surplus. Sandy Foltz, Trump was a blonde himself. So I guess he likes blondes because he's a blonde. Look at the trees. Is here. It says, what's up, heathens? Sheathens and in-betweethens. I'm new to this channel. Thank you so much. I don't think I've seen you before. You're new, and I don't recognize names. So thanks for being here. Thanks for coming on in. I hope you'll consider liking, subscribing, and sharing, and all of that. I don't know what's going on with my chat. It's really pissing me off where it's just disappearing now. Stuff is disappearing. But look at the trees. Thanks for being here. I got to really read fast before this stuff disappears, man. Sandy Foltz, Josh is real hot. That's why whenever Josh comes into the rooms, I'm like, hey, ladies. Josh is here. Seems to be popular with the ladies. Mad Max says, my years as a locksmith had me go to open. See, God dang it. Why is it doing this? Why is my chat doing? I'm reading it and it disappears. This is the times when I feel like punching my iPad because I'm angry and I punch things. Okay, Michelle's here. Good to see Michelle. I better say hi before the chat disappears, and then I won't know. I don't know why. I do not know why it's doing this, but it's making me angry. Chris Doug, I jet skied on Lake George, upstate New York, when I was a teenager. I prefer sailing. See, this is just this is so irritating. This is so irritating. This chat. Nick Rich 1152. I'm about 21 minutes behind, I think. Mad Matt, Chris Doug, yeah, man, no lie. Brown stains all over the walls, bloated, slimy body. What the hell? Inside the bed. I can't read these chats. Jim the Base, sorry if I'm late. I've been busy. See, I can't read it. Then it disappears. It's gone. It's gone forever. I cannot read the chats, guys. I'm going to have to just skip down. I guess I have to skip down. The chats were going by so fast, I can't read them before they disappear. But thanks for being here. Thanks for chatting. Maybe it's because you guys are just so chatty today. It's making the chat move faster or something. So thanks for being here. Mad Mac, remember for 16 months, I'm going to say anyone who's been around for 16 months is probably one of the originals. So yippee to Mad Mac, yippee, and Slavia Ukraini. Slavia Ukraini. My dog Bonnie Lass is still in the hospital. Oh. Well, I hope Bonnie Lass can get well soon. I know that's tough to lose or have animals get sick and stuff. I got to read fast because the chat's moving fast here. Let's see here. Roxanne Epstein, Jennifer Base. I wish the Zoom was earlier. Then it's disappearing. You guys are just chatting away, and I can't do it. I can't keep up with you. Jennifer Base, Sugar John, and that ain't no lie, TJ. Bye. Was that a Backstreet Boy reference? I guess I never was into the Backstreet Boys or any of that stuff. But the people that I'm picking up from the concert are total devotees, and they are just loving the show. And I didn't know there was. I had no idea there was still so many Backstreet Boy fans. Aaron West, member of 15 months license driver, say yippee to Aaron West. I'm going to count Aaron West as an original. You're all originals. But thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you for being a member for 15 months and being a mod and helping out. I do appreciate you. Aaron West, ooh, do they have a? They don't have. I have not seen any local or any discounts for locals for anything except for the Postcards from Earth movie. That's the only discount I'm aware of. And to tell the truth, I have no interest in seeing the Backstreet Boys. They're not in my top 20 of bands and artists. They probably don't even make my top 100. They probably don't even make my top 1,000. They probably don't even take my top 1 million. Well, no, they would probably be in the top 1 million. Aaron West, The Wiz is fun. I've never even seen Wicked. I haven't seen Wicked, and I never saw The Wiz, actually. Let's think about it. Exactly Little says, well, Kamala screamed end of democracy, etc., and now is missing. Did she not mean what she said? If she meant it, she would be helping our destroyed base cope and move forward. Okay, so what is she supposed to do? Go on a kind of like a Bernie and AOC. They went on that Stop Oligarch tour. Is that what you want her to do? Something like that, maybe, or I don't know, or just you would be happy at this point with just any appearances? Okay, I suppose. I think the Republican Party, though, Zasha's liberal, is probably doing a pretty good job of kind of tearing themselves down right now. That they really don't. I don't think we really need Kamala Harris to do much. Christina Miles says, Zasha, she didn't disappear. See, these chats are going so fast. You guys are just chatting. I can't read the chats, even though I'm 10 minutes behind. I try to read this stuff, and it disappears. Jim Base says, Jim Base comes in late. To be fair, TJ, I take my time. Timeless cues from you. So for you, I just hope Kamala Harris is safe. The effing Republicans are dangerous, and I think they're going after her. I don't know, but I mean, we saw one of Trump's maggots murder two people. Was it Michigan? And shoot two others. So yeah, they're dangerous. You're right about that. Zasha Liberal says, sorry everyone, I woke up aggravated. I saw this morning I feel forgotten and left behind at my party. Well, hang out here and we'll make you not feel forgotten. And my chat is just going so fast now, or whatever, I can't read it. So Paul Sharkymanian here is here from across the pond. It says, howdy trucker, TJ and truckers. Just finished doing the watering of my veg patch. Everything's looking good. 3 rows of spoo. I don't know what spoo is, but I hope it's delicious. Mr. Bob Newell, have you seen a Grateful Dead concert when they were good? I've never. If we're talking about Grateful Dead, I'm just going to count that as a typographical error. I've never seen the Grateful Dead in person. And now they're going out as Dead and Company because, quite frankly, most of the band is dead. Actually, dead now. The original band. I've never seen them in any iteration live. I've never seen them live. Robert Press from down San Diego way says, "Good to see Trucker John and all Democratic voters." Thank you, Robert. Thanks for being here. Thanks for jumping on in to the chat. Kim, she says, "You have the base. I had, I guess, ADD and out of meds, so the P rule is in full effect. And now, see, I couldn't read it fast enough, and it's gone. That chat is now gone. Let me just go down here to the bottom of the page. Zexer Liberal says, yes, Damon, but who is our leader that speaks for us? Kamala left us with no one. Well, right now, everyone's, I think a lot of people are just coming out and speaking, like AOC and Bernie. I see Hakeem Jeffries do a lot of stuff. I see, of course, Gavin Newsom doing a lot of stuff. So I don't think we need one clear leader right now. Like I said, I think the Republican Party is kind of doing a good job of kind of tearing itself apart. And I think the strategy has been, for the most part, is just to stand back and let them beat each other up. But we are seeing, I think we're seeing Democrats coming out and making their thoughts known in their statements and things. So I don't know. I guess I just don't see it quite the same way that you do, exhausted liberal, as far as it being like feeling abandoned or feeling ignored or whatever. I don't feel that. But I'm a whole different kind of person. I'm the kind of person that would put Backstreet Boys in the lower part of my top 1 million of favorite performing acts or whatever. Christina Weibo exhausted. Don't give up ever. That's what they want. Remember, 75 million people voted for Kamala against the child rapist. Exhausted liberal says Kimchi Newsom is definitely not the leader. Not sure who is saying that. Christian Weibo, Newsom is a better leader than Trump. Well, I think right now we're seeing people emerge. There doesn't need to be one clear leader. I think right now. I think people they're getting their messages out there, and they're going to see how it goes. Kimchi is us liberal. Everyone on TV, everyone I talk to, he is impressive. He is fighting back. He should be grateful. We should be grateful for him and others like Crockett. Danby, with how big her rallies were, etc., she won the election. In my opinion, it was stolen from her and us. Exhausted Liberal says the strategy is for her to leave us in silence. Honestly, and I'm sorry, I feel betrayed. A strong leader would leave supporters suffering with no interaction. Chris Doug, we all have 2020 hindsight. The Harris campaign was poorly conceived. Biden should not have dumped that responsibility into her lap. There was no vetting process for her to prove herself among disappeared. I guess. I really hate my chat right now. I don't know why my chat is just, but not you guys. I don't hate you guys. I mean, I hate the chat on my iPad. The way it's scrolling up and disappearing, and I can't read it. So. Exhausted. Kimchi says, exhausted liberal. Why is she our leader? She did her part. Maybe she wants to be left alone. She was betrayed by us. See, there's two different points of view there, and I appreciate both points of view. I think I kind of lean more towards the Kimchi side there, but in terms of leadership, I think we're going to be okay. People are still, getting their messages out. And that group, that kind of core group that we're going to have running in 2028, there's still a lot of time for that. We're still, 3 years away? Or at least, a couple of years away from when that gets a little bit more serious in terms of who's going to be running and people actually running. So I don't know. I think there's time for us. I think there's still plenty of time for that. And like I said, right now, just let MAGA and the Republicans disintegrate. You know. Someone just said hi that they got a message or they got something from Diane Russell and it said hi and I didn't see who it was because the damn chat scrolled and disappeared. The chat, not you guys chat, the actual chat room thing is disappearing. And I don't know why. I don't know why. There's always something new with this thing here, this page, this channel. Exhausted liberal, sorry, I'm done, sad and angry. Well, you know, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to you know, to feel that way. I think I get there's Catherine Real Health Talk. Hey, Catherine Real Health Talk. Good, thanks for coming on in. Since I drugger, I'm new here. Thank you, Catherine, for being here. Good to see. We've had a few new faces today, and I'm very glad to see you guys popping in. Thank you so much. But I think, what was I going to say? Okay, so to exhausted liberal, I don't know. I get a little bit of hope when I do see a Gavin Newsom coming out and fighting and you know, against Trump. When I see AOC, like in the clip, I thought that was an awesome little rally there that she had. John Osman, you know, Jasmine Crockett. When I see the clips of them and the things that they're doing, that does give me hope. So take it wherever you can get it. Whatever little granular grains of hope you can get. If it's from Jasmine Crockett saying something, you know, going toe to toe with MTG, you know, I guess we just got to take what we can get. But it is early yet. I mean, it is pretty early as far as 2028 is concerned. Now, 2026 is right around the corner, and you know, we need to be ready for that. Make sure we're all able to vote and registered and have that big blue wave come in. But exhausted liberal, I hope that you can get some amount of joy, maybe, or hope when you see all the maggots kind of turning on Trump and asking about the Epstein files and not letting that subject go away. And that is really hurting Trump. His popularity polls are down into the low 30s now. Remember how when Biden, people wanted him to step down and quit. I think his popularity was, I don't think it ever went under 40% at his lowest. And now Trump is down, I think, like 36% or 34% or something. So they're tearing each other up. So at least, you know, take whatever joy or happiness or hope you can get from wherever you can get it. At this point, I guess. Jet the basis, Kimchi. I have my issues with Newsom. He's a politician and a good one. Questionable decision making. See, Kimberly, the Kimberly Gargoyle thing. That's a long time ago. I mean, that's a long time ago now, and I think that shows maybe a good judgment because he got out of that relationship early enough. Because he's been with his current wife for quite a while now. They got kids and everything. So that Kimberly Garfield, whatever the fuck her name is, thing, that was a long, long time ago. And I'm not going to hold that against him. You know, there might be some other things you can hold against him, but I don't think you can hold that against him. Sandy Fold says, TJ, do you have snow out where you live in the wintertime? Sometimes we get snow down here. We definitely get snow in the mountain. The mountains aren't too far. It's like a 45-minute drive to there's a little ski slope, a little ski resort right up in the mountains, about 45 minutes to the west of here. And two winters ago, we did get snow flurries on the strip. That was 2 winters ago. I'm skipping down in the chat because I'm trying to get this thing to stop disappearing on me. So here's the other Diane Russell. Thank you, Diane Russell. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you. Diane Russell, the moderator, I believe, of some shows, is here. So thank you for being here. Good to see you. Sorry if I missed so many of the chats. They were just disappearing from the screen as I was reading them. And that's kind of frustrating because, that's basically the show, is me reading your chats and then expounding upon them. But thanks for being here. I do see Catherine, the real Help Talk here. Thank you, Catherine, for being here. I know I already said hi to you, but new face. We had a couple of new faces today, so that's pretty awesome. Paul Shargimania says, get your hands in the soil if you can. It's for your mental health. I've always heard that that's a good thing to do. I've never really done too much gardening and stuff, other than just kind of like landscape gardening when I have houses, like mowing the lawn and trimming the bushes, planting some shrubbery. But I've never had I've grown a couple things like food things, but like when I was a kid, maybe as a project or something. I don't know. Yeah. I can't do that here, though, where I'm at. I guess I could do some inside, potted plant type things or something. Catherine Rilda, I'm angry, therefore I punch things. I know. It really didn't. That didn't sound good. That didn't sound good of me, did it? Jackie, member for 3 months. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jackie. Yippee to Jackie. If it says catch you later, you might not even be here, but right now you may have left already. But still, good to see Jackie coming on in. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Christian Arrival, I punch my pillows a lot. Yeah, it's a good way to release some hostility, a little bit there. Josh, I think I made a profile picture. There's Josh for the ladies. Kimchi, Paul Strucky Man, he lives in an apartment, probably not even allowed to have containers outside. Yeah, I don't remember if the lease agreement had said that one way or the other, but I haven't seen any containers outside because it'd probably be a safety issue because it's the walkways are pretty narrow. Diane Russell, I yell at my TV. I'm pretty far because my little thing was quite a while ago. Roxanne says, I know that feeling. I like to throw a tantrum when my devices don't work. I should try singing through it. I'll work on that. You sound calmer than I would and more like Boston Brian. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand. What did Boston Brian say the other day? It cracked me up. With his Boston accent, he said something. It just cracked me up. I think it was just the way he said. I think it was one of the Marks, Mark P. or Mark somebody had made a donation, and he's like, "Hey, Mac, hey Mac," or something like that. And I was like, "This is so funny, the way he pronounces Mark." Hey, Mac. That's right. Thank you, Mac. And it struck me as being funny. That's all. MJ Daniel says nobody plays a game of golf like GJT, best golf ever. He even got 18 holes in a row. Yeah. I should have put the clip in there with that of the debate, the Biden debate, when he was like, you have to be a good guy in order to drive, in order to win a club championship. You got to be a good driver and a good this that. the guy is living in his own little secret world or his own little imaginary world. And that's who we fucking elected. I mean, and I know we talk about cheating and rigged and all that kind of stuff, and there could be something that. But Sentinels, change your eyeglasses. Well, these are my ones I usually wear for the show. These are my show glasses. I do have a bit of a crick in my neck. You guys know what a crick in your neck is? It's when your neck is kind of sore, I guess. Spock 415 in New Spockland. Kristen, why we have been chatting. Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. I think I just had the chat. The chat, not there's a difference between like, okay, you guys are the chat, but the chat that I'm seeing, I think I had it too far, like to the bottom. It's hard to explain it, but scrolled way too far to the bottom, and then the stuff I was trying to read was just disappearing as more chats were coming in. Then the chat rolls up, and once it rolls up past this top line here, I can't. It just disappears. Catherine, the real husband. Can we swear here? Yeah, you can swear, just as long as you don't like call anybody, any of the other chatters, like some slur or something. But I think you can say like fuck and shit and stuff like that, right? Jolie and Aaron, are we good with that? Are we good? We can say like fuck and shit and whatever. I said cunt just a few minutes ago. So I do. Yeah, like I said, as long as you're not like calling other people names and slurs and stuff. I think we're good. I think we're good. Jeff Base says kimchi. The Democratic presidential primaries are where our leaders will emerge: Newsom, Ossoff, Crockett, Kamala, Bashir, Shapiro, and keep on the list. Let them fight for our votes. Oh, that's what the primaries are for. I mean, we did have a special circumstance with this last election because Biden dropped out, and with only 3 months to go, I mean, we didn't have time to run a primary. I don't think we could have done it. People were saying we could have done some sort of special primary or something. I don't know. Now, like I say, hindsight's 2020. Maybe that would have been the better way. I don't know. Diane Russell, hugs and hi hugs, but the truth, Nicole is off until Wednesday. I hope everything's okay with Nicole. I don't know. Sometimes she takes time off and she's like see her daughter and stuff like that. So hope she's having a good time off. Nick Rich says if John can't do his regular show today, maybe he won't get behind. What are you talking about? I'm doing my regular show today. Nick Rich, you confused me. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Aaron West, bye is in sync, y'all. See, all those groups, I have no interest in any of those boy bands or any of that shit. Really no interest whatsoever. Mr. Bob Newell says, will there be any impersonations during the live stream? You never know. Stay tuned. You just never know. That's the beauty of the show. Kimchi says, Jim the Base agreed. Liberal thought there should be a designated leader, and my point was we should praise everyone who is fighting for us. Yeah, the leader will be crowned when the leader wins the fucking presidency. That's who becomes the leader, or at least becomes the candidate, the nominee. That's kind of what the primary is for, to get our leader, I guess. Diane Rose says, I increased my font to 125%. Helps me to chat. Jet Base says, Trucker John, TJ needs Evelyn Wood reading dynamics, and for the chat, speed reading is a necessary skill in investing yourself. David Dog, oh my God, Josh is a real boy. Nice photo. Diane Russell, hi. Will there be any impersonations during the live stream? Hey, You just said the exact same thing that Mr. Bob Newell said. That's weird. That's kind of weird. Same exact thing. Catherine, the Real Health Talk says, so to anyone that ever has or does support Agent Orange, demand an answer to this question. Why do you condone child R, I guess that's for, and RI General? What's RI? Anyhow, yeah, or why was Trump best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 25 years? Kimchi says, Diane Russell, probably, but if you want to start by pretending to play guitar and sing, I'm here for it. That's funny. Daniel the Wiz is a fun movie. I don't think I ever saw that. I know that was like Michael Jackson and Diana Ross. I may have seen it like, 40 years ago or something. Aaron West says Wicked is good too. And I just realized, so I just heard a passenger talking about Wicked, saying that was like part 1 and part 2 is going to come out. I never even saw part 1. But I should probably see it, I guess. I don't know. Mike H. TJ, you can slow not on my device. I can't. I can't do it on my devices. Can't do it. Not gonna do it. Can't do it. Let's see. Jim Bay says Kimchi agree 100%. What is Kamala going to do right now? Newsom is in a key role and has to step forward. Democrats can't do shit right now, but things will crystallize in the next 12 to 18 months. Yeah, everyone's kind of jockeying for position right now, or they're getting their messages out. So I'm not as upset as Exhausted Liberal is, but like I say, people are getting out there. They're getting their messages out. They're sort of jockeying for position, or certainly for the midterms, and then on down the road, and let the Republicans fight like a big bag of rats, right? Let them stand back when your opponent is fighting against each other. Let them stand back and let them fight. Let them destroy each other. Mad Max says Kamala predicted that all this shite was going to happen. She was spot on too. Yeah, both Kamala and Hillary Clinton. You look at all the stuff they said, and they were both 100% right. Mr. Baldul, I heard that Kamala is joining the View. I don't know about that. I haven't heard that. Dan B says we need to just win major majorities next year in both House and Senate. The people need to rise up and speak. This way we can override any veto he does. We need to bring our, is it construction back? Or something? Constriction? But yeah, definitely the midterms are what we should be focusing on right now, and making sure that we at least get the House back. And I think it'd be great to get the Senate, of course. Catherine, the Real Health Talk says Kamala is smart, unlike the other guy. Kamala is extremely, extremely smart and intelligent. I think if she's going to get back into politics or whatever, I think she might run for governor of California. I don't know. I haven't heard anything official from the Kamala Harris camp, but Newsom's going to be termed out, and I think she might run for governor, and she would be a great governor. Mr. Manuel, you skip over my best material. Dan Russell, I thought Trump is going to get The View canceled. Exhausted Liberal, hey, says you actually believe that the Republican Party is in shambles? They are basking in the sun of their wins. What a joke! I'm out. Good day. All right, exhausted liberal. I mean, you don't have to go off in a huff. We're all entitled to our own opinions here. You are, and I am, and everybody else. We're all entitled to our opinions. You don't have to go off in a huff, And I hope you'll come back. Hope this isn't goodbye forever. I hope you'll come back. I'm on every day, Monday through Saturday. So I hope you come back. As far as the Republican Party being in shambles, I think they're worried. They're fighting against each other. I think they're worried about all this Epstein files and shit. And his popularity polling, his favorability is down into the mid 30s. So, and he is the leader of the Republican Party. Talking about leaders, and his popularity is in the fucking toilet. So, those are all things that should give you some hope. Kimchi says, but the truth, born too late, yes, but I am a tree-hugging, pot-smoking, love-spreading, dirt worshiper, a wicked archaeologist? Can't get more hippie than that. Kimchi the hippie. Hippy dippy. The hippy dippy yippy, and the hippy dippy you're the man. MJ Daniel, I think it's about time for Democrats like Harris to start stumping for the coming midterm election. I think we will probably start seeing that, right around the turn of the new year, probably right after the New Year's. I think we're going to see that, but or maybe just before the New Year's. Damon Dog says, I like what Christina Talks T said when a red hat started talking to her at the post office. She went, bah, 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 I'm sorry, I don't speak sheep, and walked off. Too funny. Yeah, I saw that video. I made a comment on that video. If it's the same one. Nick Rich, 20 past the hour, so I believe I'm 27 minutes behind. I'm almost a half an hour behind you guys. By the way. Diane Russell, increase. No, it has nothing to do with increasing the text size. I can read the text fine. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with just the way this thing scrolls up, and once it gets to that top line, it disappears. It has nothing to do with the text size. Nothing whatsoever. I can see the text size completely fine. That has nothing whatsoever to do with it. MJ Daniel, my brother just saw that at the Sphere and said it was very cool. Aaron West, quote of the day, TJ, I don't know what spoo is, but I hope it's delicious. Put that on a coffee mug. Write that one down, Jolie. Or I think Jolie has a list of quotes. I need to get a list of quotes because someday I'm going to put these on T-shirts and coffee mugs and bumper stickers or whatever. Yeah, Roxanne Epstein, Damon Dog, I love her, and her story is tragic, and her skin is flawless. Oh, I don't know her about her story, but she does have nice skin. That's good. Today's shortage on the dead. When were they good? Objection, assuming facts, not in evidence. And Roxanne Epstein. I don't know why you always want to pick fights, at the base. Why do you always want to pick fights? I don't think I said anything about them being good or bad. I said I've never seen them live. I never once said anything about them being good or being bad. At least on this particular live stream. All I said is I've never seen them live. Chris Duggan, Dean Roxanne Arfield, Andy Bashir, Gavin Newsom, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, Josh Shapiro, J.D. Pritzker, and definitely Wes Moore, to name a few. And that's probably the list of people we're going to see that are going to be running. And that's a hell of a list. That's a hell of a list. I don't think there's one bad person in that list that Chris Doug just put on there. You know, that's not one bad person. You know, and the Republicans, who are they going to put up? Like I said, just a bunch of shitbags. David Windler's here. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Dave says, Diane, you could play and sing some simple songs like Benny Loco. David Dog, I get captivated by her Betty Davis eyes. MJ Daniel, we the people are. I feel as though you've left something out there. Catherine, Real Health Talk says MAGA only wants Epstein files out if Democratic names are on it. Well, they don't like the secrecy. They don't like. They want to know, what are you hiding, Trump? You said you were going to drain the swamp, Trump. Why aren't you draining the swamp? You said you were going to, expose everything. Why aren't you? What have you got to hide? I think that's what MAGA is saying. Dan B, well, what my issue is the DNC chair hasn't come out to say anything. Martin is silent. I don't like that. Send him a letter. Him or her. I don't even know who Martin is, but send that person a letter. Julie Aaron West, I'll put it on the list. Yeah, there you go. I hope you really do have the list, Jolie, and so we can get some ideas for some coffee mugs or something. Put little truckerisms on there. Chris Doug, Trump won by the smallest margin in over 50 years. Yeah, 1.4% in the popular. And I wish we could get some hardcore evidence, because, I do think things are very suspicious. Winning all those swing states, it's very suspicious. It just doesn't seem right to me. And you see the campaigns, you saw the conventions, the DNC convention, was so fucking awesome and lively, full of life. And you saw the RNC, Trump was sleeping and the place was half empty. They were just, all they would do is they were just shouting, import, not import, what were they saying? Deport the immigrants or whatever. It was just full of hate. That's why this election was so shocking, and I think anyone who has suspicions about the actual voting, I think you're right to have those suspicions, but it's hard to talk about it one way or the other because I haven't seen any hardcore evidence or proof. MJ Daniels said Democratic voters need to stop stealing defeat from the jaws of victory and doing the GOP's work for them. Catherine, the Real Health Talk says need to fight better. Diane Russell says under 50% does not a mandate make, right? Kimchi says, who you calling a hoe? Who you calling a hoe, ho? I don't know. Who said anything about being a hoe? Catherine, the Real Hot Talk, misogyny runs very deep. Yeah. Runs very deep in this Trump administration. MJ Daniel and Harris and Walz ran a good campaign. I believe the voters, we all had warning about DJT. I think they ran a really good campaign. Like you say, with 2020's hindsight, we can look back and say they should have done this or they should have done that. But I think in the moment, as it was happening, I was impressed. I was very impressed. And I felt uplifted. I felt confident. And whenever you saw Trump, where he was just each rally, he was getting worse and worse and worse, and he was meandering, and then he tried to cover that up by saying, "Oh, that's what I do. What do you call it? That's my my weave or whatever." It just doesn't make any sense. It just does not make any sense, man. Damon Dog, I think she won. I know, I do too in a way, but I just want to. Give me some fucking proof. Give me some evidence. Catherine, the Real Health Talk says the Democratic Party ignored obvious signs about Agent Orange and helped to let this happen. What did they ignore? What obvious sign? What do you mean the Democratic Party? What could the Democratic Party have done differently against Trump? I don't know. I mean, like I said, hindsight's 2020, and we can do autopsies of these campaigns, and hopefully that will help us for the future. But in the real moment, in the real time, I don't know what the Democratic Party ignored and what they could have done differently. I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm sure there are things we could have done differently. But Diane Russell, voter purging, remember that? I do remember that. Diane Russell, gerrymandering. Gerrymandering really has nothing to do with the presidential election. As far as I understand gerrymandering, that is about well, that's more about the House seats. Because the state, it's winner take all as far as like electoral votes for the state. So I don't see how gerrymandering affects the presidential election. Because you're going to get other than, was it Nebraska or something? Every state, it's winner take all. So it doesn't matter how I don't think it matters. Gerrymandering doesn't affect the presidential election. Now it affects the House because the House are broken up into districts. It doesn't really affect the Senate races or the presidential races, as far as I know. Now the voter purging, there was purging, but there's a lot of things about the purging that aren't so black and white either, as far as it affecting the election. If you look at the stuff, a lot of stuff that Greg Palast was putting up, a lot of that was really old, outdated information. If you look at, I saw some videos from David Pakman and I think Brian Tyler Cohen, and they both kind of mentioned how a lot of the Greg Palast stuff might not be as damning as Greg Palast would like us to think. Kim Chi says the final swing states all coming in at the same time and no one said a word. I don't know if they all came in. I remember staying up and waiting for the final results of, like, was it Pennsylvania or some of these states back, or maybe Michigan, I don't know, but and thinking, oh my God, about that one too. I don't know. It seemed like they came in kind of staggered, but maybe I'm wrong. Squirrel Girls here says former DNC chairman Jamie Harrison was on different programs, etc. I don't seem to see the new DNC chairman speak out on anything. Is it because I don't watch TV? And to your point, I don't even know who the DNC chairman is. Now, I probably heard it. I probably do know, but I just don't remember. But if that person was out a lot, out in front of a camera, then I would probably know. So that kind of speaks volumes. I don't even know who the DNC chairman is. So that's, to your point. Catherine, the Real Health Talk says Mandami, I think it's Mandani, but anyhow, looks decent for New York City, needs more experience. If he gets to be mayor in New York City, he'll certainly get it. I think so. I like him. I know there's, of course, criticism. about some of his statements that they're trying to make him to be like anti-Semitic. I don't think he is. I think maybe there's some things maybe he needs to be made aware of, and we can see how he handles that criticism about some of the statements he made that kind of came off a little anti-Semitic. But I don't think he meant it that way, and I don't think he is like a Jew hater or whatever. I think, but so maybe he has explained himself, and I just haven't seen any clips of it yet. But yeah, we'll see how he handles that, and that will be a good test to see how he handles that criticism, because that's really the only thing that, other than people just calling him a socialist or a commie, which is stupid and is not really true. The other criticism is that he said some anti-Semitic things, or may have been interpreted that way, and so that's a good test to see how he handles that, that issue. MJ Daniels says she was California AG and prosecuted black people, but her laugh. These are quotes. Both sides are the same. Another quote, but Palestine, end quote. People had plenty of stupid reasons they did not vote for Harris or did not vote at all. And those are stupid reasons to not vote for her, I believe. Because if those folks that were protesting, especially the Palestine people, if they really think that things would be worse now with Kamala Harris as president, then they're to be sadly mistaken. Catherine, the Real Health Talk says maggots only care about Epstein files if Democrat. I think I already read that one. And like I said, I think it's more. I think there's a little bit more to it than that. I think that they. I think the maggots feel betrayed because Trump was supposed to drain the swamp, and this is a part of draining the swamp, and he's not doing it. And I think some of them are waking up to the fact that, why aren't you doing this? Are you afraid? What are you afraid of, Trump? I think that's there's that part of it. It's not just that they just want Democrats on it or whatever. I think they feel betrayed. At least some of them, a portion of them, and that's how MAGA will fall apart. Is slice by slice by slice. Catherine, the Real Health Talk says George Clooney was an asshole and he's keeping his mouth shut now. Turnhead. Yeah, all of those. Yeah. Roxanne Epstein says, I think the maggots will buy the bullshit he's putting down to avoid the truth. They are liars at heart. Like I said, slice away, a little slice at a time, a little slice here. Nick Rich 1230. God, I'm 33 minutes behind, guys. How did I get so far behind? I'm gonna have to skip down in the chat. I'm 33 minutes behind you guys. And then I know that makes it confusing for you, because then I'm talking about stuff that you guys said 33 minutes ago, and it's like, why is he still talking about stuff from 33 minutes ago? So I think I'm going to have to skip down in the chat, because it's so far behind that it gets a little ridiculous. So I'm skipping down a little bit. I'm just going to do some needle dropping. I'm going to skip down and needle drop. Okay? Like, here's Jen at the base, says MJ Daniel, we are the personification of those who don't know history, are doomed to repeat it. We are really fucking dumb and gullible collectively. Present chat company excluded, of course. The dumbing down of America, and then what was the movie? You know the movie I'm talking about? Who made that movie? Was it Mike Judge from Beavis and Butthead who made that movie that I'm talking about? You know the one I'm talking about. Let's see if anyone in the chat knows the movie I'm talking about. Jolie, all swearing is on the table. So here I am, just now getting to that. That's how far behind I am in the chat. So I need to skip down and needle drop. I'm going to skip down and needle drop, except I do see Stephanie B2's here. Thanks for coming on in. Stephanie, good to see you. Hope you're feeling well. Hope that new hip is doing well. Stephanie B2 says, I had an ex-husband and an ex-boyfriend that were golf fanatics. They were really good, but sadly, they were drug addicts. I didn't mean to laugh, sorry. They were drug addicts, meth or coke. That's why I left them. That's a good reason to leave because especially a meth head is probably someone really, really hard to live with. Okay, I'm skipping down, and now I'm needle dropping in the chat. Roxanne says, great analogy, Kimchi, though I'm not sure mushroom lovers would agree. Now, see, that's a total needle drop, total mid-thread. I can only assume that you're talking about Trump and his little mushroom dick. Was I far off? Here's Richard from Australia, the expat in Australia, born in 1942 or whatever. Sorry, Richard. It says, I think if it's scrap the electoral college voting system, we in Australia go public vote only. There are many of us, probably mostly Democrats, that would love only too much, too well, whatever, to scrap the electoral college. We would be on board. We would only be too happy to scrap the electoral college. The problem is that it's in the Constitution, and so in order to scrap it, we need to make a constitutional amendment, which requires like supermajorities and state majorities, and for ratification. It's not just a snap of the fingers, wiggle your nose type of thing. But yeah, we would. There are many, probably millions and millions and millions of us that would be only too happy to scrap the electoral college. But it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take voting. It's going to take getting the numbers that we need. That means not sitting on our hands and not doing anything come election times. Elections have consequences. Voting matters. How many times do I have to say that? Okay, I skipped down and I'm needle dropping. Dan B says, MTN, that's the Midas Touch Network, did a segment regarding Ivanka and her modeling. I'm doing a little editing here. And her modeling back when she was 15. There was a scene as an adult talking in her room, looked at her bed and had a very weird look. Creepy scene. Yeah, that sounds kind of creepy. Keith Polit's here. Hey, Keith, good to see you. Thanks for being here. You may have been here for a while, but I'm 30 minutes behind everybody. So Keith Polit says, watching the right destroy itself is like a black hole of Schadenfreude. More, please. Yeah, I think they are. They're definitely fighting and tearing each other up. We'll see how things go in these midterms. Okay, I'm skipping down and I'm needle dropping. Apparently, 007 Kevin Trollslayer is here because Catherine, the Real Health Talk, said that Trollslayer, and it looks like some sword play of some sort. Kim Shi says, my boarder just texted me to not go outside. I inserted a snide remark about my beautiful new pool. Uneven and unfilled. That doesn't sound good that it's uneven. You don't want an uneven pool, because the water will just fall out. You know what I mean? I do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. A jelly bean. Okay, I skip down and I do a little more needle dropping. Richard says Gavin Newsom would make a great president. I think so. I think he would be. I think he would make a great president. Dan B would love to see Hal on that stage debating. So would I, Dan B. I would love to see Hal Sparks get on the debate stage. At least make it that far. Okay, I'm skipping down and needle dropping. Jolie with a quote, a Trucker Johnism. Is it weary, or leery? I don't know. All those terms. Trucker Johnism. There we go. That's one of the golden oldies there. Gino Maynard's here. Hey, Gino, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Do appreciate you. 44 watching, 56 thumbs up. So we are operating at a surplus, like good Democrats. Catherine, Real Health Talk, says kimchi a lot to handle. Have a little one pick up and have a table set up to sell $20 for half a pet. I'm mid-thread, guys. When I'm mid-thread, I just never know what I never know what I'm gonna get when you're mid-thread. I just kicked the stand a little bit here. As well as then, did he actually win the popular vote? I thought Harris won. No, I believe that Trump still got the popular vote, but it was only 1.4%. So hardly a mandate, but just narrowly. Jolie says, yes, I have the actual list. Okay, thank you. And someday we're going to put those on some coffee mugs. MJ Daniel, mass deportation now signs were all over the RNC. See, this is I'm really behind. And now many MAGA that voted for this are finding out the hard way as their own policies ruin their businesses. Give me Schadenfreude to see. And also, some of them, maybe not ones holding the signs, but some of the people that voted for Trump, they've got family members that are being deported. Close family members. Like wives and shit. So, yeah, Schadenfreude. A happy Schadenfreude to you. Jolie's got a tough cookie quote. May your egg prices be forever in your favor. Did Tough Cookie say that? That Tough Cookie, I tell you, he can be quite elegant at times. Or eloquent. Or elegant. You know. Sandy Phillips, why are you yelling again? Am I yelling? Maybe because the air conditioners are so loud. And I have to yell over it. I don't know. Am I yelling at anybody? Sandy's a little touchy on that. MJ Daniel says, one thing the DNC did really badly was communicating the message. Seems all I saw and hear on TV was DJT bad, ads on TV and radio. No shit, we already knew that. Yeah, maybe they may have overdone that. I think it was good to show, how bad Trump is. Because you and I know that, MJ Daniel. There's a lot of people, well, I don't know, I say a lot, but just from talking to people, either in my Uber car, at that time I hadn't done the cab yet, so there are people that still think that Trump is like this cool, tough businessman, this no nonsense, doesn't take any shit businessman from New York City, like believing all the hype from The Apprentice, all that build up or whatever. And that's what a lot of, they just see that. They just think he's this tough, no nonsense businessman, and he would be good for America. That's what a lot of people think, all the way up to the election, all the way up to probably this day still. So I think it was good to point out all the bad shit that he does. But I do think you need to also, like you say, put out there what you're going to do that's different and better. That needs to be emphasized as well. So, I agree. Roxanne Epstein, Boston Brian cracks me up all the time with simple shit he says with that thick accent. Yeah, Mock. Thanks, Mock. Thanks for the donation, Mock. Catherine, the Real Health Talk, Real Health Talk says Agent Orange is saying Beyonce should be prosecuted. Yeah, he's just flailing, because he wants everyone to be prosecuted, but himself, of course. Christine Weibel says Oprah too. Yeah. Anyway, and also people pointed out how everyone he's saying should be prosecuted are people of color. So I mean, the guy Trump is just he's just a racist piece of shit. Is all he is. Hey, Terry Taylor's here. Good to see you. Thanks for being here in the chat. I'm glad to see you here. Catherine, the Real Talk, dumbing down of America has been happening for decades. Yeah, probably since Reagan, at least. Kristen, why will Trump rip my family apart? Yeah, all that. It has torn people apart. Like probably not like we've seen since maybe the Civil War. Which is something. Diane Russell, alcohol is a drug. MJ found that out in a nursing school. Same with nicotine. Yeah, alcohol is a drug. That's for sure. I'm skipping down to needle dropping, guys, because I know I'm so far behind. Christina Well, 007. Who else? So I'm mid-thread on some stuff. MJ, Mike H says, but TJ, Canadians can't vote, at least not yet. So I'm mid-thread. I've skipped a lot of stuff. I don't know what. I've never said anything about Canadians voting in American elections, so I have no idea. I have no idea why you would even bring that up, other than that you're just grasping at straws or something, just so you can get that little Trump dig in about Canada being the 51st state or something, which is stupid. You're just kind of showing your stupidity right now, at least in this arena. You might be a genius in RC cars, Joel the Troll. You might be a genius in something else, but you're certainly not when it comes to the Chuck John Forum. I laugh because I know I'm no genius either. Anyhow, Terry Taylor says the popular vote compact would bypass the electoral college. Yes, we only need, I think, 2 more states to make the electoral college moot, but not sure. That's a good point, Terry Taylor. There is a thing called the electoral college or popular vote compact, whatever they're calling it, where these states have made these, I guess, pledges that they would not. What is the pledge? That they would essentially not go against the popular vote somehow, some way. I don't know if it's even legal. If there would be some sort of a court challenge to that or whatever, but I know this has been going on probably for at least a decade now. I've been hearing about this, and they've been gathering support and getting states to come on board with it, with their state. I don't even know if it's a state AG or whoever it is that agrees to it, but that would be a way of, a workaround, I guess you would say, to that. It will be very, very interesting to see if we ever do get enough states to come on board with that, if that would really be something that can really be done. Because that would be kind of amazing. Okay, I'm skipping down and I'm needle dropping again. Chris Duck says Trump bankrupted, and I am over 2 hours right now, by the way. Chris Doug, Trump bankrupted 3 casinos in Atlantic City, the Castle, the Marina, and the Taj Mahal. He goes down in history as the biggest loser in gaming ever, all cash, and he still fucked it up. He's the biggest loser. All right, I am skipping down. I may have skipped down too much because I think I'm at the end of the thing. There's some sort of thing going on between Mike H and Nick Rich. All I'm going to say is, and I missed most of it, all I'm going to say is Nick Rich is right and Mike H is wrong. Okay. I think Mike H is just feeling a little like I don't know, just needs some attention, not getting enough attention or something. Hey, WW's here. Hey, gang. Hey, WW. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. I do appreciate you coming here. We're going to be ending the show pretty soon. Pretty soon. 72, y'all need to just ignore the troll. He's getting the attention. Yeah, that's a good idea, Stephanie. Just ignore him. Don't water the troll. David Dog, it worked. I said his name 3 times and he appeared. Hey, WW. Alvin Stoops here. Hi, y'all. Southern Illinois. And 95, it feels like 112. Yikes. Nick Rich, 420. Yeah, so I have caught up. I did a lot of skipping and needle dropping. But we are over the 2-hour mark. I don't know, is Boston Brian on now? Does he come on today? Let's see. Who's on today? I guess he's not on. Who comes on today? Anybody? Anyhow, I guess you guys are on your own to go wherever you like, wherever you please. I don't know if there's anyone we want to raid or not. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. If you have any suggestions, if you want to raid somebody, because I'm going to be shutting this down pretty quickly here. Roxanne, no Boston Brian today, tomorrow. We can raid if you come on early. Boston Brian's on Tuesdays. Okay. What's his schedule? He has a weird schedule now. I don't know, Sundays and I know Wednesday night. Is he on Tuesdays too? I don't know. All right, guys. Hey, I heard. By the way, you guys were talking about me. Someone was talking about me, saying that I'm really elegant and eloquent and all that kind of stuff. And all I gotta say, Trucker John, is go fuck yourself. I'm not elegant. All right, I'm anything. I don't even want to be elegant or eloquent. So, go fuck yourself, Trucker John. You son of a bitch. I just want to say hi to everybody real quick. You notice how Trucker John, he always lets me come on when there's like 2 seconds to go. What the hell is that shit? What is that shit all about? Oh yeah, sure, I can come on and there's like 5 seconds to go. Thank you very much, Trucker John. Oh, thank you so much. So nice of you to let me have the last 2 seconds of the show. You arrogant son of a bitch. Yeah, that's Trucker John for you. That's Trucker John for you. He's a real peach, that Trucker John. I tell you. Oh, he's up, tough cookie. What? You didn't get enough screen time today? You get your little cookie feelings hurt? What about me? I even get less time than you do, tough cookie. So, you don't hear me crying, do you? Complaining. Although maybe I should. Maybe I have to get more airtime. I don't know. But anyhow, I've been listening to the show. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for putting up with Trucker John. His inability to read chats, apparently, is becoming a problem. So thanks for putting up with that. I was reading him just fine. He should have had me read the whole damn show. I was doing just fine. I don't know what his problem was. Old age setting in or something. He's not as fast as he used to be on his feet. It happens. It happens to the best of us. What can I say? Anyhow, you guys take care out there. Don't despair. Hey, Don't despair. We're going to win the House. Bigly. Bigly. And I think we might get the Senate. So don't despair. Purple Beard Guy is there. I was trying to rhyme, but didn't do so good. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so that, like Paul the Purple Beard Guy said, thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are awesome, for hanging out with me. Thanks for all the donos and all the memberships. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do have a challenge. I guess it's a challenge issued by maybe Kimchi or somebody. It's been so long ago, I can't remember. But when I get to 4,000 subscribers, I have to eat a dandelion. Yes, a dandelion. The kind of dandelion you just see like in the grass. And here we are. We're just sort of stuck at 3,900. So if you guys want to see me eat a dandelion, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Maybe share the show out so we can get more people to subscribe. And maybe someday that goal, that challenge will be met. I don't know. But anyhow, yeah. So in the meantime, yeah, subscribe. And you guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you. I'll be back on tomorrow, Tuesday. Tuesday's the 9 a.m. show. Yeah, so we're going to do a 9 a.m. show tomorrow morning. And Nick Rich says dandelions are nutritious. That's what I hear. Yeah. 007 Kevin Trollslayer says, are they edible? I've been told they are. I think I Googled it just to make sure that I wasn't going to get poisoned to death. I believe they are edible from my research. My extensive Google research, I believe they are edible and safe to eat. So, there's that. But that's it for today, guys. So you might want to, except for the words of wisdom, which I know you guys really look forward to, and you guys have expressed to me that you really look forward to the words of wisdom. You almost have a book at this point from writing all them down and saving them. So today, no exception, we're going to do words of wisdom. So get your pen and paper out and get ready to write this down. Okay, are you ready? All right, here's today's words of wisdom.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here. John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win. Right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Trucker John! On the road he rides, live streaming all through the nights. From politics to pop culture he speaks. No topic is off limits, nothing is weak. From Vegas to the highways, he'll never tire. Shouting about food, talking about desire. He's the rebel of the asphalt, the king of the night. With a microphone in his hand, he's ready to ignite. Freedom is his fuel, passion in his soul. Gotta express himself, gotta take control. Moving through the country, keeping it real, no filter, no holding back, nothing to conceal. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. For free.